Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Lekan Olawoye. I live at Climenhaga with my wife and my 3 kids. 2 of them are here today. I thought I'll take them on a walk. The election has been crazy, so this is the time for me to spend a bit of time with them. My apologies, as I was saying earlier, I go to church on Sundays, so it's difficult for me to do things in the mornings. The thing that's really been disheartening about this. No, let's start with not what's disheartening. What's really exciting about this community is the engagement. That people are engaged, are informed, and know their stuff, right? You're not gonna pull wool over anybody's eye, right? We have incredible leaders that I've had the privilege of working with for years on many things across our neighborhood and across our community. It's really, really amazing to see. We have a great place to start from. The thing that we need to change is this. A lot of times, decisions are made for us and not with us, nor are they made by us. And you see that in this instance. With the flooding that's been going on year after year without any type of plan. We're looking at development, we don't have infrastructure plan. I don't think it's okay. I think we need to look at different ways of doing things and different ways of engaging. As your city councilor, here's what I would do. I want to make sure that you're not just being told after the fact that something is going to happen, that it is being built with you. Locally, I'll develop a local planning team. This council will be made up of me from my office, residents like you, and planners. We would make sure that no longer will we be reactive to developers or to businesses coming in, but we'll be proactive in building the type of neighborhood we want and ensuring that the things that we want to build in our neighborhood is things that we want to see. On top of that,
20 seconds.
On top of that, instead of always building up, we'll also ensure that we build downwards. And the infrastructure that's needed for a growing city, for a growing neighborhood, will be built and will be built intentionally. So I want to make sure we're doing it with, not for, but with you, and intentional about building the type of neighborhood and the type of community we want to live in. Thank you again for having me.
Thank you.
And I just want to comment on 2 things. First of all, when it comes to doing things in cooperation with the community to make sure that the community interests are respected, I am unsurpassed in terms of my ability to get the community involved. The only problem is that sometimes other levels of government, including the city, can actually circumvent legislated rights, mandatory rights that the community has. And I'll give you an example in my area. When a developer wants to do something, there is a statutory requirement under the Planning Act that the community people in the area have a right to comment on what is being proposed. That statutory right was circumvented. And I've been fighting for the last 5 years to basically say my community had that right and you can't get away with what you're doing. Okay. So, just to give you an example of the commitment that I have to make sure that people are a part of the process. So now when it comes to flooding, which is really the main reason why we're here, how do we protect this community with respect to flooding has occurred in my area? Where's that lady in the group? This woman attended a meeting in my area where people were irate because we had the same kind of flooding just south of the 401 where the Black Creek, the level of water on Black Creek was so high that the reverse flows happened. Rather than having the trunk flow into the creek, it was going the opposite way. And so things were blown and backwater valves were going, nothing worked. So when you say, well, what's the answer? Well, the answer is very simple. We have to create man-made reservoirs that can allow the storm water. If the pipe's not big enough, you have 2 options. You either make the pipe bigger, which is very prohibitive in cost, or do you create some diversion? And we have man-made lakes up in the Downsview lands. We have that. There's one coming in my area in front of the Ingram transfer station where it's basically a reservoir that allows the overflow water. Oh, I'm already...
That's what we want to hear, by the way.
Yeah, and by the way, that school site, if it ever becomes declared surplus, because it's in the floodplain, that becomes an excellent area to create one of these, what I call man-made reservoirs. Those are the kinds of things, you can't fix what's already there. You can't widen that creek, you can't deepen it, it's too costly. Maybe it can be done, but you have to look at, given what we're dealing with, how do we now mitigate future problems, future flooding? What are the solutions to mitigate future flooding? And that's what you have to focus on. Thank you.
Hello everyone, so my name is Chiara Padovani and I am running for City Council here in York South-Weston. Many of you already know me because I have been standing by your side when it comes to fighting for flooding prevention and fighting the sale of 200 Rockcliffe Court. Our councillor in Ward 12 said that some things can't happen, and I want to stop there because as a resident in York South-Weston, I'm tired of hearing people limit our possibilities. I'm tired of having people say it can't happen. The TRCA, in a report funded by the TRCA, said if we want to mitigate flooding in this neighborhood, we need to expand this canal, and we need to move this road back, and we need to use the land that we just sold. That's what that report said. This isn't me making up dreams. This isn't me being a naive young person. This isn't a report that was fully researched and studied. We need to stop taking no as an answer. And I am so encouraged by this community saying, we're not going to take no as an answer. I am so encouraged by the dozens of residents from Rockcliffe Smythe who joined me to dispute about this Black Creek Canal, about the sale of 200 Rockcliffe Court. This is a community that is saying, you know what? A green future for us is possible. A green future for us, yes, we do deserve that. But we have had leadership in this community that has been trying to stifle those expectations. And I say it's time we raise our expectations. I say it's time we raise our expectations both for this community but also for our leaders here. And that's what I want to do as your city councillor. I stood by you on this issue. I will continue to stand by you on this issue because we deserve better. Just because this is allowed to happen doesn't mean it should. Just because this is allowed to happen doesn't mean it should. That's my phone ringing. Got it.
All right. All the candidates were invited, by the way. The mayoral candidates. Sarah is attending, so thank you.
Yeah, I'm Sarah Climenhaga. Nice to meet everybody. I just feel I would kind of echo a lot of what Chiara said. We have had leadership in the past that allows this sort of thing to happen. And I think that we have to stop politicians making decisions that aren't in the interest of the residents and that aren't in the interests of the environment, which is what sustains this city. We can't look at it as two different things. And I see a huge potential here. It's as disappointing as all the bad decisions have been up to this point. There is so much potential to make it better. And if we look at concrete and we say concrete doesn't solve our flooding issues in the city, what solves it is green, is permeable pavers, is green plantings, is treating sewage as part of your ecosystem, not as something to kind of try to avoid dealing with. It's a reality. So our current mayor is not moving on that track. That is not his interest, and that's why I'm running against him. I think you have three good options actually running against Mayor Tory. There's Jennifer Keesmaat, there's myself, there's another woman named Sarah Gebrselassie. We can't go on doing the way we have been doing, or we are going to keep getting the same result. So we need change at the mayoral level as well as in council. Thank you, everybody.